What do you know good today, my friends? I know something good. I know two things good. I'm going to do two things for you tonight. That's right. You heard me right here. I said I'm going to do a bacon wrapped tenderloin with a pineapple apple glaze along with some Corn Maque Choux Nibblets. No, I didn't sneeze. I said Corn Maque Choux. Kind of like I chew, but no, it's just Corn Maque Choux. So follow along, see how I do it. All right, I'm going to start off on the bacon wrapped pork tenderloin. Get you a pork tenderloin. I've wrapped my cutting board up in cellophane that way, or plastic wrap, that way I don't have to clean my board. I'm going to clean it anyway. It is a clean board, but I'm going to season all my meat on here. That way I can just unwrap it. First I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with some mustard. And then the only seasoning I'm going to use is this Kinder's, the blend salt, pepper, and garlic. I ran out and got me some at Sam's this weekend. So I'm going to open this up. I'm just going to season this with the pork tenderloin. That's it. That's all I'm going to use. You can use whatever you want, but I'm only using this one right here. Get a nice coat of seasoning, and you want to rub all of this mustard and seasoning all over your pork tenderloin. Just like this. You want nice and seasoned, just like that. I'm going to add a little bit more seasoning to all of it. And I'm going to get my bacon ready to wrap it up. Who likes a good sale on some meat? I do. I go to Kroger's or Costco or wherever I see meat on sale, I get it. I got this pound of bacon for $1.80. $1.80 for a pound of bacon. You don't hear that. And it was not expired. So I was all excited about that. Anyway, get your bacon out. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take a slice of bacon and you're going to wrap that pork tenderloin with it. So just take your bacon and then just wrap that sucker around. Just like that. Okay? Let me get this done and I'll show you what's next. All right, so I have my bacon wrapped all around my pork tenderloin. You can secure it with toothpicks if you want. I don't think you need to. But look, I did overlap that bacon just a little bit over each other on that pork tenderloin. I do have some bacon left. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that in just a second with my Corn Maque Choux. No, I didn't sneeze. But anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take you can do a roasting pan. You can do just a baking sheet. I'm going to use my Dutch oven pan right here. I'm going to put a little oil at the bottom of this. Not much, just enough to, just like that. And I'm going to take my pork tenderloin and I'm going to lay it inside there. I did not season the bacon on top of this. This is applewood bacon, so it already has a smoked apple flavor to it. And with that pineapple glaze on top, it's going to be chef's kiss. So you really don't need to season your bacon, but you can if you want. Just like that, put it in. I'm going to add just a little bit of olive oil on top of that. Stick in the oven to 350, and you want to bake this till the temperature is at least 145 or above. It's pork, so you can go to 145. And then we'll check on this in a second. I'm going to put it in the oven, 350, until it reaches the 145 or higher. All right, so while that's in the oven, it is uncovered. I did not cover it, and yes, I have a fan on me because I'm hot. It's not covered, so I want that bacon to get crispy, and it's going to cook. So I'll tell you also how long I have it in the oven for it to reach the temperature of 140. While that's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and start on my Corn Maque Choux Nibblets. And so I'll show you how to do that. But most people just use like canned corn. I'm actually going to use whole corn, and they just come into niblet sizes and cook it the same way. I'm going to add a couple little things that probably most people don't add to it to make it a little bit different. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that extra bacon that I had, and I'm going to go ahead and fry it up. I'm going to cut it up into pieces and then fry it up. Then I'm going to cut up some bell peppers, some onions, and some garlic, and I'm going to saute that along with the bacon as well. And then what I'll do is I'll show you what I do with the corn. All right, so I got my bell peppers, my onions cut up. I had a purple onion that I use. You can use white. The only reason why I use purple is because I had half an onion inside my refrigerator and I didn't want it to go to waste, so I just used that. But I normally use yellow or white. onion. I also have my bacon all nice and crisp in my pot. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get a stick of butter and stick it into that grease. And you say, Curtis, you got bacon grease and you're gonna put a stick of butter? Yep, sure will. So I'm gonna melt this down. I turn my fire on low because I don't want this butter to brown. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna melt this butter and I'm gonna put in about a cup of my finely diced bell pepper onions inside here and get that translucent. I did not add my garlic yet. I don't have any whole garlic, so I'm gonna use garlic, which is just minced garlic in a jar in here, but I'm gonna do that after my onions have gotten to be translucent. So get your butter in there. Yes, a stick of butter. Your onions and bell peppers, start sauteing all that down, and I'll be back to add my garlic. I'm so mad right now. I think you'll got to take my Cajun card away because I don't have any Rotel. And I love Rotel. Now, you don't have to have Rotel for this Corn Maque Choux. Some people use it, some people don't. I prefer to use Rotel in my Corn Maque Choux. I just like the flavor of it. Gives a little bit of heat with the tomato and that jalapeno in there. So it's really good. I drain the juice and put the tomatoes and peppers inside there. And as you can see, my onions and stuff has wilted down and translucent. And I'm gonna add my garlic right now. I would add my Rotel to this as well, but I ain't got none. So, 1, 2 spoons of garlic. I'm gonna get this cooked down, and now a lot of people again use whole canned corn, drained, and cook this in with this maque choux. I'm using niblets. Let me get my corn ready so I can show you. Now my wife don't like the niblets. I'm gonna cook her some whole corn and just boil it, as some people say. But I'm gonna make my niblets for my little Corn Maque Choux. All right, my corn this year came in different sizes, regular size, and then I had these little small pieces like here, this. I don't throw this away, I still use it. I'm gonna use that as my little niblets for my Corn Maque Choux. So 2 corns goes in a pot of water to boil for my wife. The rest I'm gonna cut into niblets. Let me show you how I do that. All right, as you saw, I cut my corn into niblets. These are niblets, just a little small, like, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna take these niblets and I'm gonna put them into my pot here, and I'm gonna start cooking them on a medium heat. Getting all those flavors nice and coated on each of those niblets. I am gonna add some seasonings to this. I'm gonna add some of that special blend, like I told you earlier that I did my pork, which was the salt, pepper, and garlic. Let's put that in there. I'm gonna use some Tonys. Everybody loves a little Cajun Tonys, not everybody. And then just for a little bit of extra heat, I'm gonna use a little bit of cayenne pepper. Don't want too much because I don't want it too hot. And then I'm gonna add some fresh black pepper. You just season to your heart and your ancestors tell you to say, that's enough. That's enough, chef. Okay. So I got that all mixed in here. Let me bring you a little closer. Can you see that? I'm gonna mix this all up together, get all that juices into that corn. We're gonna let this marinade in there. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? All those colors, that bacon grease, that butter is all gonna sit into those kernels. Again, people use whole corn, but I'm using corn niblets. And you know what else I'm gonna do? I think I'm gonna put another, maybe about a half a stick of butter. Hold on. I'm gonna do another half a stick of butter. I want to get nice and coated. And I'm gonna put a little bit of heavy cream to make it creamy. Get that nice and coated. Maybe about, I don't know, 1/4 of a cup or so. Get this stirred over. I'm on a medium heat on this. I don't want to overcook this. And then I'm gonna put a lid on it and let it cook. About 30 minutes. I'm gonna check it every once in a while. If I need to add more cream, I will do that. But this is gonna sit nice and pretty and get lots of flavor in my Corn Maque Choux Nibblets. Be right back. Okay, we have our bacon wrapped pork loin inside the oven cooking nicely. I just checked on it and I'll show you in a little bit. We have our Corn Maque Choux Nibblets on. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make our glaze for our pork tenderloin. Remember I told you it was an apple and pineapple glaze? Well, just get you a jar of pineapple preserves. I get this one for Publix, and then because I'm fancy like that, and then just some apple jelly. And you're going to use probably about 1/4 of a cup of each. Get you about 1/4 of a teaspoon of butter and put that in the bottom of your pan. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put about 1/4 of a cup of both jellies inside here. And we're going to get this melted down to get our glaze going. Put this on a very low heat. You just want to dilute the jelly into this pot to make it so we can put a glaze on top of that pork tenderloin, just like that. So just combine them and then put them on a low heat and then just get that melted down, and I'll show you once that's done. Be right back. This Corn Maque Choux Nibblets is smelling so freaking good. Oh, let me show you what it looks like as of right now. Look at that. Oh, all those pieces and giblets of stuff. I'm gonna add some green onions to this, but look how pretty that is. Oh, add some green onions to this. Put it back on the stove and cook it for a little bit longer, probably for about another 15 minutes. I'm gonna add a little bit more heavy cream on this. I want a little bit more creamier consistency. Probably about another 1/4 of a cup. And get this on the stove and finish heating it up. What's up? Like I pulled the pork tenderloin out of the oven. You can see all those juices getting in there. The pork is getting done. I'm going to go ahead and baste my pork tenderloin with that apple butter. Not apple, but well, it's butter, apple, and pineapple preserves. All I did was melt it down just like this. And I'm just going to get a brush and just slowly brush the top of that. And my pork loin is almost done. Not quite, but I want to go ahead and get that glaze on there. Just like that, nice and slowly. Now we're going to save some of this glaze for when we slice this up. We're actually going to use this on top of our pork when we serve ourselves. So save some of that preserves. I'm going to get this back in the oven. Okay, I can't wait. This maque choux smells so good. So I'm going to give me a niblet, just one little niblet like that. And then I'm going to get some of that good stuffing like that. And let's try it together. We gotta blow. The smell of that garlic, the smell of that butter, the smell of those onions. Oh, and it's so hot. Why it has to be so hot? Oh. Oh my God, it's so good. That is absolutely wonderful. Whether it's from a can or whether you do the little niblets, you gotta try this. Let's finish up this meal and we'll put it together. Guess what? The pork loin is done. Let's get it out of the oven. Woohoo! Oh my word, look at that. Can't see it good. Oh, God, it smells wonderful. I'm going to take it out and let it rest on this cutting board. I don't want to cut into it right now because I want to make sure that the juices stay within my pork loin and doesn't go out. But look at that. Oh my God, it smells so good. I'm also going to go ahead and put some glaze on it. I have my little glaze. Just gonna drizzle it on top of it and let it start melting into that bacon. We're gonna let this set for a little bit, get all the juices settled into that pork loin, and then we're gonna slice it up. All right, she's resting. You can't tell this fat man nothing because look how pretty that sucker is. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and slice it up now. I'm gonna slice it on an angle, just like this. Oh, it looks so pretty. Those juices are set in as well. Nicely done, nice and tender. Get those nice pretty angles with that crispy bacon, semi-crispy bacon. You can cook a little bit longer on a broil if you want it a little bit crispier. But that glaze is getting kind of candy-fied on that tenderloin up. Just like this. And what we'll do is we'll fan that out a little bit, just so we can see. And I'll take a picture of that. How nice and pretty it is. Oh, yep. You can see those seasoning from that seasoned blend that we seasoned with it earlier. Nice. Always make it presentable for your family. There's no reason why not to have a cheap, easy meal to make, but yet make it beautiful. Let me show you a picture of this. Okay, it's all ready and time to manger. Manger in French means let's eat, or just eat actually. Can't tell this fat man then because I know this is going to be so good. That bacon is candified with that pork tenderloin, nice and juicy. So good and tender. The seasoning blend on that is so good. I made some broccoli and cheese on it. My Corn Maque Choux Nibblets. Seriously, man, this is so good. You gotta give this a try. Can't tell a fat man nothing. Until next time, love you guys. Bye.